Good evening, guys. It is almost 10 o'clock on Tuesday evening. I am just in the gym here, closing up. I have not been in the gym all week because I have contracted COVID-19. So, yeah, this sucks. Firstly, I'm doing fine. For all of the really nice people who've contacted me in the last few days to see how I'm getting on, I'm doing fine. It was shit for a couple of days. But I'm very conscious as well. I've seen a lot of videos of people on hospital beds in really bad condition. I wasn't like that, thankfully. Thankfully, I wasn't like that at all. But it was nasty. It wasn't nice. It's not enjoyable. The biggest pain is that I have to take, it's all 2021 has already been shit business wise. We're closed for half the year. And then I got to close for another 2 weeks because I contracted the fucking virus. So it really is just a kick in the teeth after a kick in the teeth. But yeah, whatever about business, whatever about, I suppose, being sick, there's one big thing that I want to address. And I suppose this is for anyone out there that may be worried that they're going to get it. Maybe they're worried that you have symptoms. But there's a huge stigma and taboo about COVID. I didn't realize it now until I contracted it. But it's almost that when you get it, people are, I was almost ashamed last week that I got it. I was like, fuck, what are people going to think? What are people going to say about me? What are people going to say about the business? And then 2 days later, when I was in the depths of the symptoms, I didn't give a fuck what anyone said. I was like, oh, this is shit. I just want to get better. But yeah, it is something that I think needs to be addressed because obviously with the virus that we're dealing with, the whole idea is that if you contract it, you need to tell people, stay away from me for a little while, maybe get yourself tested if you were in close contact. That's not what's happening. What's happening is people are contracted it and then they're feeling so ashamed about it that they're not doing anything about it. They're not telling anybody, which is really risky. Again, I've been really lucky with my business here that I've got super people around me. There's a couple of people that I couldn't thank them enough. Now I will get on to thanking them later. But the business would be shut without them, but we were able to stay operating at a kind of a much reduced capacity. Ellen was able to keep doing her spinning classes, which is fabulous. Trish is kind of running the business for me at the minute, which again is brilliant. But I suppose going back to my original point, I can't imagine what would happen to somebody who was running a business and maybe they don't have the support that I do. Maybe they're forced to go into work because if they don't go to work, they can't pay the mortgage or they can't pay the bills or they can't feed the kids. It's fucking scary. This week has been a bit of an education for me to understand that, wow, there is an awful lot more going on with this COVID than you would think. So yeah, if you're someone out there who's, worried about COVID, worried you have it, don't be feeling ashamed about it. I mean, I have tried so hard here since this time last year, however long ago, 18 months ago that COVID started. I mean, every morning I've got a little routine where I come in, every door and window in the place is opened. I have to refill those dispensers of sanitizer. We have to have hand sanitizer on the way in. All my classes have been run outside. And I'm really aware I've got a lot of friends in the industry who are running gyms around the country and they don't have outdoor areas, so they're kind of forced to do their classes indoors kind of illegally. We're lucky that we have a beautiful outdoor area and we've been able to do our classes outdoor. We've been so by the book and still we get screwed. As much as I tried, as hard as I tried, I didn't want to get COVID. It's not like it was an intentional thing. The last thing I would predict to be someone who's asthmatic, because it is a kind of a scary thing when you get it. You're like, oh fuck. And the first day that I got my test back, I was positive. I didn't really have that many symptoms. I had a scratchy throat. And one of the biggest things that they don't put down on the sheet of symptoms is stress and worry. So from that day that I got my positive test, straight away I was stressed and I was worrying. I was like, fuck. How many clients did I meet? How many of them are close contacts? Big thing was my grandfather. He's 87 years of age. I go out to him regularly. Will he now have it? What am I going to do about my business? Yeah, look, they tell you about the runny nose and the cough and the headaches. They don't tell you about the stress and the worry and the panic that kind of comes along with it. So I would just say to anyone that is maybe in my position, first thing is don't panic. There's absolutely no need to panic. It's 2 weeks. You'll get through it. I'm little over a week into it now. I'm into it now. And it's, if COVID has taught me anything, is that it's just another road bump. it's just one fucking bump after the next. You know, it actually makes you appreciate running a business pre-COVID. How fucking easy was it, like? Do you know, compared to how fucking difficult it is now. But again, anybody that's in business, anybody that's running their own show will know that it is hard regardless. Pre-COVID or after COVID, it was hard. Running a business is hard anyway, and it takes a lot of balls. Just got to keep at it. Just got to keep ticking away. So my quarantine is supposed to be up on Saturday. I'm actually going to take Saturday off because by the time it gets to Saturday, hopefully the weather will be nice. I'll be able to go outside and do something. Sunday we're closing the gym anyway. Again, no harm taking an extra day off, and then I'm going to get back into it on Monday. But yeah, so that's where I've been all week. I know a lot of people know already. But for anyone who didn't know, that's the crack. That's where I've been at. Cannot wait to get back into doing things. And again, this has kind of put things in perspective for me. Again, one of the things that I've noticed in the last couple of weeks is that I've been so busy with personal training and so busy with teaching classes and so busy with keeping the gym running that I've kind of stopped doing my own training. You know, it's always a kind of, you're putting everybody else first. That needs to change now when I get back next week. So it's going to be the first thing into the diary every week is going to be my own training times and my own lunch. So I'm going to make sure I get my training done, going to make sure I eat. And then after that, I'll start everybody else in around that. Because again, if you keep putting everybody else first, you're just going to burn yourself out. Yeah, and it needs to happen, I suppose. So yeah, again, bottom line from this message, guys, is if you're dealing with COVID, don't panic about it. Ignore the stigma and the taboo that's around it of almost shame. Get that out of your head. I was like that last week, and now I'm like, fuck it. Don't be thinking like that. It's a negative way of thinking. I suppose try to stay positive. Try to get yourself through COVID, if it is the case you have it. Yeah. And if you're someone who doesn't have COVID and you know someone that does have COVID, look out for them. Yeah. Even this week has been great. I've gotten, maybe 2 or 3 of my close friends who have, I would have told them. I was like, Jesus, listen, what's the story, man? This is the crack. Even getting a couple of phone calls because you're at home doing nothing. It's boring. Getting a text message, well, how are you getting on? It breaks up the day. So yeah, try to be sound. Try to be cool to people that do have it. And if you do have it, try to be responsible. Do the responsible thing. Tell people. Don't be trying to hide it. It's not going to do anybody any favours. Yeah. Hopefully I'll be back on next Monday. Back to doing classes. Not sure if I'm going to be able to teach classes, depending on how I'm feeling, but we're going to try it anyway. Really miss it. Yeah, and finally, just a big thank you to all of the people who have dropped me gifts, messages, text messages, WhatsApps, Instagrams, even people dropping fruit at the house, which was an incredible surprise and treat. Thanks so much. Too many people to name. But yeah, I will eventually. Cannot wait for the Christmas party this year. Going to have a proper shindig because it's only fucking July and it's been a really long year already. So hopefully, fingers crossed, things will improve as we head towards August, September. Well, at least the weather's improving. So yeah, that's my story for the last week, lads. Stay safe.